Hello everyone. Good afternoon. This is Teacher May. Welcome to my YouTube channel, the Filipino Teacher Vlogs TFTV. So right now we are live at YouTube and Facebook, and you are free to share this live in any platforms, in Instagram, in Facebook, and YouTube, as well as in your friends, and leave comments upon watching. Thank you so much. Ano siya? Lock na ni. Good afternoon. Mega shout out to Pamilyang Laagan. Happy Sunday as well. Kumusta, my friend? Pamilyang Laagan channel.
Maligo.
Good afternoon.
Nay, matod na kong pizza. Matod kong pizza, ma.
Maklaro ba ko, Sir Mark, Pamilyang Laagan channel? Kay ang akong device sa ni camera naka-lock. Klaro ba ko? Please leave comment. Nagtakilid, ma'am. Nagtakilid ko? Yan na. Rotate device. Sakto na? Okay na? Okay? Good afternoon, everyone. Okay na ba ang camera? Clear. Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel and mega shout out to Pamilyang Lagan channel. Nakaharang naka, sir. So this afternoon, I'm going to share with you guys some tips to be a successful webinar host, because someday or maybe tomorrow, I will be hosting an international webinar with the IGP, International Global Professionals, and I'm invited, and it's my honor to be invited and to be host in that webinar. I hope madayon, Sir Mark. So nag-try ko o search on some tips to be a successful webinar host. So let me yaw and share with you about the tips to become a successful webinar host. So happy Sunday, everyone. Thank you, Pamilyang Lagan channel. Congratulations to you as well. I have seen your premiere, sir. Very nice content with your wife. Keep it up. Upon watching your live video, I really feel delighted. So it seems that being a YouTuber or content creator is not easy, but somehow we can relieve if somebody is watching us. So thank you so much also for being as an avid fan viewer of mine, of my YouTube channel. So I am inviting everyone to please watch, and you can like, share, and leave comments upon watching my live streaming video at YouTube. Yes, sir. Practice pa more pa jud ko ani, practice. practice pa jud ko ani, sir. So later on, I'm going to share some tips to be a successful webinar host. So this is from Christopher Papas since October 5, 2015. So I have searched here and would like to share with you. Murag na loading. Di ana sa daw. Oh, ga-practice bitaw ko, sir. Sir, naay ads. Unsa man ni pag-answer ka na mag-live bitaw ko nga naay ads. unsa man ni siya kanang unya na ni siya mag-ads kung kitay mo on.
Ano na te?
Kung kitay mo on or mo automatic siya og may ads. Sir,
Ninglag.
Sir Mark, Pamilyang Lagan Channel. Unsa man ni siya kining live ba nato? Unya na ni siya mo butang og ad. So unsa man ni i-on ako later. Kay kamulo man kag yaw-yaw. So later na ko mo on sir. Di ba sir or karon ko maka-on? Ano? Pero ako i-on ako pag human nag-live. So sir, ang akong pangutana if mag-live ko automatic na ay excuse me. Karon ma'am. So asa man ko mag-on? Ako sa na-end ang akong live or sa ba? What's your suggestion? What's your suggestion, sir? Your suggestion. Oh, sir, maklaro ang tingog. Hello, sir. Mega shout out to Pamilyang Lagan Channel. To Boholanang Laagan, ang iyang sister. Where are my friends? Ma'am Annabel Aransado, I'm here live this PM. And to my colleagues, Daphne's Day Off and Celeste Guapa, mega shout out sa inyong tanan. So, I'm very much delighted in sharing with you this afternoon blog some tips on how to become a successful webinar host. So, since I would be invited by IGP, International Global Professionals, and I'm trying to learn for myself because I want to be prepared at all the times. I thank you, sir. Klaro na kaayo ang tingog. Okay, gamit ka lain na phone only mo im ads. Ah, okay. So magamit ko og another phone para ma-on akong ads. Okay, sir, let me try. Kay wako ka kuan ani. So meaning pwede ko mo ato sa akong kuan. Wait sir ha, mo try ko. Okay, ako i-try. So far, Sir Mark, Pamilyang Lagan Channel, ikaw pa'y audience na ko. 1,000,001. Thank you for being an avid fan and very supportive to my channel. For pretty sure, sir, nagtanaw po ko sa imong channel. Malingaw ko sa imong laglaag. Everywhere. Kuyuga ko po, sir ha, Sir Mark. With the vlogs. Asa kay mo pindot sa kani, sir ha. Practice for more. Practice for more ta, sir, kay para sa ekonomiya. Sa ekonomiya nato ni. Actually, I'm printing my self-learning modules even weekends, and then I'm just I'm winding myself for a while. So I'm thinking for a live streaming here and sharing with you later on some tips on how to become a successful webinar host. Okay, sige mig attend a webinar, sir, and maybe hopefully I could be invited as one of the hosts of International Global Professionals. Char. I try to go, sir. Okay. So, ako i-try ani ha. I-try na ko ni siya. Asa ko mapindot para matry ko na ipanumdum. Okay. The other day, mga good sir, nag-live ko. Nag-live ko niya. After na ko i-on ang akong ads, after my live, kung complete processed. But I am wondering if I'm going to have live video, if I could on the ads while I'm having the live video. So, upon knowing your answer to me, so pwede ko maka-on in my other gadget like laptop, right? So, mo try ko ni sir. Okay. Wait, asa mo tong ang gipangita, sir? May 26. Okay. Okay, sir. Akong i-on, i-try na ko on. Pero, I am wondering if maka-on ba nga live. Is it possible? Is it possible, sir? Kanang nag-try ko in English, Sir Mark, kapamayang Laagan channel kay naay videos ba sa one of the videos of my channel na ni comment dito nga kanang did not understand because of my language kay nagbisaya man nya nagtatagalog mo na nga kuan. So mo nang nagplan ko og kuan, sir. So asa man dapit ani oy nangita ko. Asa man ni sir? Di man makitaan. Aning dashboard? Dashboard, sir, no? Mega shout out to my colleague, Ma'am Christina Galanida. Hi, Ma'am Christine. Happy to see you around. Oh, nadyo kay award na ko, Ma'am Christine ba? Ma'am Christine. Nadyo kay award na ko, Ma'am Christine. All for one. Okay, having fun ka na ko. Yeah, having fun. Thanks, Ma'am Chris. Nagsil ko practice sa Christina kay aron na ito tagag-bagansi adong ako. Pananik. Ano lang. Nangita ko, Ma'am Christine. By the way, Ma'am Christina, I'm going to share with you some tips on how to become a successful webinar host. Ma'am Tin, klaro ba kung tingog, Ma'am Tina? Is it now clear?
Wala yung donut.
Loud and clear na, Ma'am Tin? Ma'am Tina, klaro na ba kung tingog? Kay marang natabunan ako, Ma'am. Ma'am Tin, Chrome at to nimo on, Ma'am. Okay. So, asa man ko mag-on ani nga live. So nangita sa ko tikaw-tikaw pag ko ani. Asa na bit ang live video. Wa man ani. Sir Mark, ninggamay lagi akong subscriber, Sir Mark.
Kusang picture.
Pila ang subscriber na Sir Mark diha sa imong nakita sa akong channel?
Ika nga eh.
Sa imong live karon, Chrome adto nimo on, ma'am. Chrome. Sa Chrome. Bitaw, sir, no? Asa man ang kuan? Magsige jud ko kuan ani. Asa ko dapit gayaw-yaw. Naoy, please help me para makita nako, mapindot nako ang on sa advertisement ani asang sa live di man na mo ang live. Sir, kanang asa nako makita, Sir Mark, kini Sir Mark ba? Pwede ba ka na ipakita, no? Sir Mark, kani bang na dashboard, content, playlist, setting, feedback. Asa man ako mo pindot ani nga live? Ang magitan ka dili man live. Thank you, sir. Ninggamay ang akong kuan. Pero okay ra gyapon kay at least monetized channel naman ko, no. So
Ang daghan naman.
okay ra gyapon. So asa man ako ni makit-an ang live, oy?
Biyak dan lagi nabuang.
Tesa, sir, ha? Sa Chrome ko, no? Sa Chrome. Tesa, matry ko. Sa Chrome. So, pangitaon ako ang akong live, no? So, the Filipina Teacher Vlogs. The Teacher Vlogs TFT. Hello everyone! Welcome back to my YouTube channel, the Filipino Teacher Vlogs TFTV here. Sorry for the interruption. Medyo na loading ko ani. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. Mega shout out to Pamilyang Lagan channel, Vietnamese home cooking. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon. Mega shout out loud to my dear friend, Vietnamese home cooking. How are you, ma'am? Happy to see you around here. So this time I'm just practicing. Here I'm going to share with you some tips to become a successful webinar host because personally I am practicing for myself for incoming invitation of the IGP, the International Global Professionals. So I hope I could learn something. I could learn something for this sharing. Sir Mark, wala ads ma'am. Sir Mark, akong gi-on na. Ako rin siyang gi-continue. Okay na ba niya ang i-continue, Sir Mark? Hello, Sir Mark. Akong i-continue ang live. Unsa man ni siya, lahi na po ni siya nga on. Pag-on ako. Kay naon naman ako ning diri. Naon ako, sir. Na okay na ba, sir? Ako nang naon, sir. Sir Mark, Pamilyang Lagan Channel. On na. Okay, naon na. So, na ba? Nakita na ba, sir? Please inform me. This is my first time. So, everything is an exciting to learn something new. So, together, we're going to learn. We're going to share and learn. And my dear friend, Vietnamese. Oh, nawala na. Ala, nawala na ako, Sir Mark. Ako iba share ha.
Ubo na kong ka. Hiday, anong biman?
Diba, gingay ko niya, ay minsan, sinako ang good. Yara tanawon, masita na mo. Tanawa.
Mega shout out to Pamilyang Lagan channel once again. Thank you for watching over my live streaming in YouTube. So, Pamilyang Lagan,
Buong doon, isara ganang nakaan.
Vietnamese homecoming. Sir Mark, ako siyang ganang iharang si Vietnamese. Nilagay siya mag-color blue. Dili siya na ko mag-color blue, sir.
Bala ka maeng, gibagtom ka. Maeng, gibagtom ka.
Pila na minus pa out sa pila na minus pa out sa ko, ma'am. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Once again, this is Teacher May. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This afternoon, I'm going to share with you some tips on how to become a successful webinar. So, just like here in my experience right now, my kids are very noisy. Maybe they don't understand on what their mommy is doing here. So, pretty sure I'm going to learn something new about my personal experience and, of course, my sharing with you this afternoon. So, I'm going to share with you some tips to be a successful webinar host. So, shout out sa nag-watch sa akong channel. Si Pamilyang Lagan. Ako bito siya i-con, sir. I-add, pero dili. Mo remove moderator lagi ang gibutang, sir. Oh, akong balikon ha. Kaya ni-remove mo siya. So, add moderator. So, akong gi-add ang moderator ang Vietnamese. Pero wala man siya na blue. So, sir, nabay ad na sa akong live stream karon? Nibalik ba ang ad, sir? Or akong i-on og balik? Sir Mark, I need your comment. Sir Mark, I need your comment. Wala ma'am, so unsaon man ni siya nga nag-on naman ko. Asa man ko mo na ni? Mutan-aw nga nag-on naman ko sir. Nag-on ko ani, nag-on. Nang gi-on? On na siya. Siguro wala pa ads. Green na ma'am. Oh, green na. Green naman siya sir. Nagabot nga live unya public unya dollar sign nga green. Yes sir, green. Green. Okay? So I'm going to start with you sharing tips on how to become a successful webinar host. Connecting with your audience through a webinar goes beyond the capabilities of social media, the website, and other professional blogs because it breathes life into your learning content. It generates trust between you and your attendees, and it offers you the opportunity to create new connections and form prosperous professional relationships. Needless to say, being the host of our own webinar means that you have complete control over its flow and outcome of the said webinar. So, by the way, I'm very fortunate enough that I'm one of the global member of the International Global Professionals member, a certified international professional member. And last night, I was called by the some of the representative of the IGP if I could be it possible for me to host a webinar, an international webinar soon. So upon the preparation of that webinar, so much preparations from the script demo down to the personal preparation, the confidence, the guts. So it's not easy. So I am thinking to share and research on some tips on how to become a successful webinar host. But before anything else, I would like to share with you what is IGP, kani akong gisudlan nga organization. So I'm going to give you a little concept about IGP. That is Institution of Global Professionals that serves students and community resource, providing holistic social work and education for create a profession generation. Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institution that provides social work, and we believe that it's not effective to increase one's skills just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate profession generation all over the world. Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institution provide social work with globally recognized. We organized our webinar, training, offline and online courses, etc. by best and trained speakers, coaches from all the world to create a best learning platform for all the clienteles and for all the participants all over the world. Our mission is to empower people and enhance that we have already completed the 105th webinar successfully. So we expect that all are getting a little bit benefited in personal and professional life, and we wish that all are remaining with us in a long journey with IGP or International Global Professionals. So, as a certified International Global Professional member, I would like to invite everyone to please share, tag, comment, and mention to your friends if ever you can watch our webinar soon with the IGP. So, this time I'm going to share with you the tips on how to become a successful webinar. So, these tips, akong gi-search, eventually, this is really for me, no? But I'm going to share lang for all the people, for all the folks. So, murag na balin akong kung ano, blouse. Style siya, style. So, there are several questions that we need to consider to become a successful webinar host. So, several questions like would you would you be able to deliver engaging learning content and interact with your audience at the same time? Could you stimulate their curiosity, inspire them, and maintain their interest up to the last minute? Of course, you could. And in this blog, I'm going to share with you some 7 tips on how to become a successful webinar host so that we can be sure that we feel relaxed and highly professional while we deliver a flawless, entertaining, and stimulating webinar. So, first tip of to become a successful webinar host. Number 1, pay attention to the sound. So, just like now, there are many sounds that we could hear in the surroundings. So, maybe there are sounds of dogs, the barking of dogs, the crying of the children, the talking of the neighborhood. So, audio is undoubtedly the most important element of the webinar. To make sure that everything goes smoothly, keep in mind the following tips. So, there are tips. Number 1, choose the right location. So, do you think I am in the right location? So, I think so. I don't think so because I could hear the sound of the cat, the noise of my nephews, and even my kids a while ago. So, very important the choosing of the right location. Find a quiet or even better. So, tanawa, dagan kay mga barking sa dogs. Di ba? Maka-distract ni siya og na webinar. So, it's not really a good location og daay mga distracting sounds. So, therefore, we're going to find a quiet, even better, a soundproof room to record. So, may problema ron kung wala tayo room nga kanang very safe from distracting sounds. Furthermore, consider not using a wireless internet connection. Instead, use a landline to avoid technical problems. So, just like a while ago, I was experiencing technical problem of my internet. So, that is one of the barrier in conducting a webinar. So, number 1, you're very important. Please remember, number 1, pay attention to the sound and choose the right location. Okay? Number 2, have a technical assistant. Speaking of technical problems, keep in mind that during our webinar, we need to be focused on delivering our content. Have an assistant who knows how to handle technical issues if they occur in real time. So, sometimes, dili lang tayo magdepende sa kagalingon nga, uy, tingog. Unya, dapat Girl Scout and Boy Scout laging handa. So, dapat na tayo mga technical assistant. It could be your daughter, it could be your son, or any member of the family nga madepende mo. Kay, basi ka na yung mga problems ba sa mong gadgets, sa turning on of the internet connection, and etc. Okay, so that is number 2. Have a technical assistant. Have a technical assistant. Number 3, use the right microphone. So, para sa karon wala ko headphone. So, one of the barriers yun na ang pag-host sa webinar no, nga walay microphone. So, dapat na siguro ay ka ng headphone. Don't rely on built-in microphones in your laptop or desktop computer. Use external mics. If your webinar includes multiple speakers, we have to equip ourselves with a high-quality speakerphone. So, hala, high-quality speakerphone ko no. So wala man ko ana ron. So number 1, choose the right location. Number 2, have a technical assistant. And number 3, use the right microphone. Murag wa pa nananaw. Murag ni out Sir Mark. Sir Mark. So let's continue. We have tips number 2. Tips number 2, practice, practice, practice. So sa Bisaya pa, pagbansay-bansay. Because we all know that there's a saying goes, practice, constant practice makes it perfect. So, mag-practice gali ng mga very expert, very eloquent speakers. How about nga kato mga just like us, mga beginners pa. So, practice, practice good. So don't underestimate the power of practicing multiple times before going live because practice makes perfect. And one thing, it's not only practice, but a constant practice that makes perfect. To make sure that your voiceovers are effective, you will need to make sure that you remove every kanang an kana bitang ni usay mo atong tutunlan kanang kada bitang mo start na kanang naay mo kuan sa tong laway nya mga nana ako ra ba kay guilty po ko ano sa sometimes. So avoid the and the from your vocabulary, and practicing will help you gain more speaker confidence. So one of the secret to be confident in delivering and hosting webinar is constant practice. Ask for feedback as often as possible. So, just like myself, mingan ko sa nga tete, anang paminawag ko, o okay na ba ang akong tono sa voice, o na fluent ba. So, kanang usually, mga kitag feedback, dili lang kita mingon nga, mobilis tong kagalingon. We need somebody to say, to commend everything we are practicing. Diba? It's nice man pod nga naay mo yun nga okay na dili pa more practice, so it's inspiring to do more and to do better. Okay, and then ask them to share one thing you did well and one you can improve. So asa dapita ang dapat i-improve, asa dapita pod ang ang angay na ang angay i-enhance, no? Na enhance, improve, and keep on improving yun. Is your vocal pace okay? Are you speaking clearly? Klaro ba akong voice? So, basi natabunan sa atong kamot ang katong speaker phone sa phone nato sa gadget. So, sometimes it hinders ang sa sounds, di ba? Mawala ang sounds, ang audio. So, is your vocal pace okay? Are you speaking clearly? How about your tone? Basi ang tono na rising ra ba siya pag ayo or falling intonation. Right? Elsa? 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 Mariana ba? So is it friendly or too serious and flat? Ask them to listen again and again while timing you to make sure that you don't end up having to rush through your last slides. So kanang imong slides nga gi-prepare from one slide to another slide, dapat na sakto yun ang iyang pacing sa pag-deliver. Basig kanang nakalimot na nga natay gisulti unya top pa sa unahan unya atong giunag sulti unya ang katupong dapat na una at first na ulahi, so magsaksak sinagol na, so dili na siya hanay, so dapat hanay. So furthermore, consider recording yourself and reviewing the footage to see what is working and what is not. So, it is good lang nga mag-practice ka. Pwede ka makatubang sa mirror. Kay, ingon man sila basta mag-practice ko no. Kanang best nga matanaw sa mirror yourself. So that time to time, You can check if, uy, okay na ba ang mong pagyaw-yaw. So, ay karon. Nga na. So, dili de is a no-no, jud day. It's a no-no kanang habit. So, likayan ang and the Okay? And that is tips number two. Tips number two, practice. Number three, start with a story.
Wala yung tanda.
Naman. Start with a story. What is the best way to introduce yourself? Certainly not reading a long bio or a slide that lists your agenda. These are ways to rather ensure that you lose your life listeners' interest. So, see to it nga, if you are going to introduce yourself daw, it should be brief and concise. And then, it's not necessary nga too long ang imong basahon because it would create boring mode to the listener. Okay? Then, number four, grab and hold your audience attention. The average attention span of a typical audience is about 10 minutes. So, 10 minutes ra ang kasagaran nga magunita na to ang attention sa tong audience. Webinars audience are worse. You are competing for their attention with their computer screens, their always open social media accounts, and their email inboxes. So, rest assured if somebody is talking and delivering a webinar session, rest assured and for sure there are participants who are opening their Facebook, social media accounts, their Instagrams, their email inboxes. So we cannot control that way. So dapat natin grab and hold audience attention. Limit the text in your slides and avoid overloading them with bullet points. Instead, get your audience involved with an interesting mix of interactive questions, minute challenges, and tasks, rich images, compelling videos, and even music. So, tips number five, maintain a conversational tone. Remember that you are talking to real people, not to a machine or personalize your webinar. So, there are tips on how to maintain a conversational tone. There are mga several. Number one, imagining that you're speaking to a friend or colleague. So when you are delivering your session, you try to imagine that you're just talking to your friends, to your close friend, to your best friend, or to your peers, or even your family members or relatives. If you have, say, 150 attendees listening, you're actually having 150 one-to-one conversations. This may sound overwhelming, so try to visualize a friendly face you are talking to. So imagine if you have 150 participants in a webinar. So you claim the audience that everybody is listening to you. So I hope I can do that to myself also. Number two, breaking your presentation up by using Q&A. Question and answers are a great way to maintain interactivity. No one wants to listen to one person talking endlessly, no matter how smooth is their voice. Again, Q&As are a great way to maintain interactivity. Kanang pag-question and answer. No one wants to listen to one person talking endlessly, no matter how smooth is their voice. So, question and answer portion. Number three, addressing your audience by using you in your sentences. Don't say, today I'm going to be sharing. Instead, you say, today you will learn. Oh, yan na siya. So, you will not say that I'm going to be sharing. So, mingon di kag, today you will learn. So, kanina di ay dapat mingkog, today you're going to learn some how to become a successful webinar host. So you will say, today you will learn. Don't ask, does anyone out there have a question? Instead, ask, Would you want to ask me something? Utilizing the word you makes your audience feel more engaged. So it should be engaging activity. And it's not that commending if you're going to ask the audience that, do you have any questions? Instead you say, would you want to ask me questions? Because you are engaging your session. You make your audience feel more engaged. Okay? So remember addressing your audience by using you in your sentences. Again, don't say today, I'm going to be sharing. Instead, you say, today you will learn, and don't ask, does anyone out there have a question? Instead, ask, would you want to ask me something? Utilizing the word you makes your audience feel more engaged. So, mingon di ka sa Bisaya pa. Dili ka mingon nga. Karong adlaw, mo share ko ninyo about sa tips on how to become successful webinar. Mingon di ay unta nga. Karon, maka-learn mo sa mga tips on how to become a successful webinar. Or, og naami, dili day maayong mingon ka nga. Kanang, namoy pangutana, nakoy pangutanan ninyo. Or, nabay, nabay, naba sa inyo ang naipangutana. Or you instead, gusto mo mangutana about sa akong topic nga pag-iskutan karon? Do you want to ask me something? Because you will draw audience engagement. Okay? Then number 4, using humor. Don't be afraid to throw in a funny comment. Just be sure that your humor is politically correct and relevant. So kanang paghatag dig mga humor pod, dili kay nang mohatag ka kanang mga palamuot nga comment, no? But it should be politically correct and relevant. Relevant to your session. Pwede na magpalamuot basta relevant. Kana bang may ugnayan sa imong giyaw-yaw. Then number 6 tip. Tip number 6. Use interesting real facts and examples to your message. Hearing real life experiences and thinking of how to apply the same solution to one's life is one of the most effective ways to learn. Filling your webinars with multiple boring graphs and figures will not captivate your audience. Using real world scenarios, case studies, and examples will. Real success stories, research, and beautiful infographics that back up information are great ways to support your message, and it helps gets across. So, it should be interesting topics that you're going to deliver in your audience. Tip number 7. Remember that your voice is the connection. Of course, you will need to make pauses while you're talking. Dili pwede nga kanang magsoya ka na murag walay mahingon kita ka. For example, you will say, today we are presenting the webinar blah 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 with 3 speakers. Murag walay pause. So dapat niyon jud ka. Today we are presenting the webinar 106, a new normal economics and business with the 3 speakers. But something like that, di ba? Example na siya. Tip number 7. Remember that your voice is the connection. Of course, you will need to make pauses while you are talking. Use them but keep them short. Don't allow more than 2 or 3 seconds of silence. Otherwise, your audience might think that they have lost their sound. And if you're to be silent, let your listeners know. For instance, when you want to give them some time to read something, tell them, I will now let you read a few lines about. So those are some tips on how to become a successful webinar host. So shout out to my British family, Elizan family, to my colleagues, City East Elementary School and the Elementary School. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope kung wala mo paminaw sa akong sharing on how to become successful webinar host, so you can still review on this live video. Taga live ni mo ma'am on jod ng ads. Okay, thank you Sir Mark. Napapagad Sir Mark. Hello. Asa naman to si Juan Oy, si Vietnamese home cooking. So, thank you so much for your precious time. Next time, I'm going to share again another uh, insightful topics that everyone needs to learn and that everyone's need to know and enhance our potentials as professionals. And once again, thank you so much for your precious time. Mega shout out sa mga kauban ako nga YouTube creators and vloggers sa mayang Lagan channel, Bulanong Bisayang channel. See you around. Once again, this is Teacher May. Welcome to my YouTube channel, the Filipina Teacher Vlogs, TFTV. See you. Wala di ka maligo, ati man.